Here in India, some 40 million people speak English fluently, as if it were a first language, though mostly it's a second or third language. But it's reckoned that a third of the population here have some sort of familiarity with the language, and that's over 300 million people. And that pattern is repeated round the globe. Wherever there's a population of English speakers, you'll find a much larger number of people who come into contact with it and have some knowledge of it, or at least learning it.
Now is their time to relax and enjoy the program.
In the second half of the 20th century, the number of people speaking English as their first language has doubled to nearly 400 million. Though it's still not as many as the 900 million who speak Mandarin Chinese.
English is national language, international language, so I study English.
I can use English language to speak with other people.
I want to earn much money.
What I want to do today.
However, there are another 500 million people around the world who are bilingual in English, or at least speak it fluently. It's here that the big expansion has taken place. The number has quadrupled in 50 years. But because of its usefulness as a second language, some 1,000 million other people are learning English in schools and colleges. Added together, that's about 2,000 million people, or a third of the world's population, who have some knowledge of English.
It's an unprecedented expansion. English is now used as an official or semi-official language in over 60 countries around the world and plays a significant role in 20 more. English is now well established on all 6 continents, and it doesn't stop there, because in all sorts of ways, when nation needs to speak unto nation, they do it in English.
The implementation of Lisbon, and that gives you all the information.
At the European Parliament in Strasbourg, business in the chamber is translated into all the languages of the member states. 10 years ago, French was the language most commonly used by delegates outside the chamber. Today, it's English.
The President of the Parliament to the President of the Commission.
Final European Parliament documents are translated into all languages, but it's the language they are drafted in that's changed. In 1970, 60% of EU documents were drafted in French and 40% in German. By 1997, 45% were drafted in English, 40% in French and 15% in other EU languages.